So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. And today I am going to be doing a review and breakdown for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I promise you, no spoilers. So, for starters, Spider-Man was depressed. And I know that sounds kind of crazy to be happy about, but as a comic book fan, Spider-Man has to be sad. Spider-Man has to be going through something, has to be dealing with something. That is what has made his character so special to millions of people, is that even though he is this person who has these abilities and is more enhanced, he's still basically an everyday person who deals with these struggles, deals with grief, deals with sadness just like anybody else. Now, yes, he lost Aunt May in No Way Home and had to cast a spell, but we have not seen anything since of him dealing with that until this movie. And they give us that in the beginning of the movie, roughly like the first, I'll say almost 30 minutes. It's like, what has he been doing for 4 years? What has he been doing basically throughout the entire time that he would have been in college? And he has been basically devoting himself to being Spider Man, almost reminiscent of Robert Pattinson being Batman. Just listen, this is me. I am this person now. And that Peter Parker doesn't exist, not just because of the spell, but because Peter basically would not allow Peter Parker to exist. And so it's like he finally got to see, okay, this mask carries such a heavy burden. He finally is seeing what great power comes with great responsibility really is all about in this movie. The movie is definitely more mature. I mean, like I said, it's a little bit darker tone with it. He's dealing with depression, he's dealing with isolation. Everybody's older, obviously. Him, Ned, MJ, they're all older now. They're all just got these other things going on. Peter's been working out, he's a little more buff. He's really seeing, like I said, this burden of, okay, I'm Spider-Man. He devoted himself to really cracking down and taking out like most of the organized crime families and doing all this stuff like that over the 4 years to try to distract himself, but he really is still sad at the end of the day. And I think that this really does help out people with kind of deal with mental health a little bit, similar to Thunderbolts, I feel. Like we've been getting a lot of movies about mental health stuff with the MCU lately. Um, so the action was amazing. The director, I don't quite know his name off the top of my head. And I just looked it up. His name is Destin Daniel Cretton. And he also directed Shang-Chi, if you do not know. So that goes to show that we were going to be getting a more better, I would say, parkoury style of action. We were going to be getting this, okay, Spider-Man, we know you can do all this stuff. Let's see what he can do with his acrobatic abilities. Let's see what he can do with the webs and everything. And there were so many beautiful choreographed sequences of fighting and things like that that we got from this. And not even just from the fighting itself, but the webs swinging and POV shots that we were getting and things like that, of where you could see it from like his arms as he was swinging, or from like his face and bird's eye views. And it was just a lot of different camera angles that really was telling these stories of what was going on in the scenes and how he was feeling. Um, so I definitely think he's a great director. They said he's apparently working now on a live action Naruto, and I'm like, hey, he might be able to do it. He might be able to make that amazing. But that's off topic. Anyways, the acting was amazing. I mean, Tom Holland did his thing. Um, Zendaya did her thing. The guy who plays Ned did his thing. I always forget his name. I apologize. But John Bernthal's Punisher, he had more screen time than I thought he would. He was pretty hilarious. I felt like people were like, "Oh my God, they Disney-fied him." I feel like they did a little bit, but it was PG-13. But I mean, he was still like cursing up a storm. He wasn't obviously allowed to really be violent. He didn't really get to have much action in the movie. He had a little bit fighting basically somebody, but otherwise, he didn't really have much except for just kind of being there as like, okay, Spider-Man needs help with somebody and needs help to protect somebody. And so he goes to Frank, and Frank's like, okay, he didn't want to do it at first, but then he's like, all right, I'll do it, and stuff like that. So it's really their big brother, little brother dynamic, especially because, like they said, John Bernthal, helped him audition for Spider-Man, and he helped him get Punisher. It was just like This back and forth thing, and we kind of saw that too. Like they were having a lot of arguments, but it was kind of really funny and very, like I said, big brother, little brother aspects to it. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk was fucking scary and just terrifying. Savage Hulk was just like he was exactly what we were seeing in the teaser and all stuff. Wasn't much of him in the movie, but he definitely like if we got that in another like Incredibles Hulk movie, if we got that in a Planet Hulk movie, like if we got that somehow, some way, or like yeah, maybe take it to the past or even future, like in the current times or post Doomsday and Secret Wars like time period with Hulk in that more savage state, I think that would be very, very interesting. Sadie Sink's character, which I don't want to say who she is because, like I said, movie I saw it Thursday night. So when you guys see this, which will either be today, Friday, that I'm recording this, or Saturday, you know, people still probably have not seen it. So I do not want to give away exactly who she is, but her acting was very good. She definitely, I feel, has a good acting range because she did play Max on Stranger Things, and I think out of all the actors and actresses on that show, she was actually like one of the really good ones. Um, and I mean, we got to see like I said, with the action, also to kind of go back, I'm sorry, kind of flip flop a little bit, but he got to fight street level people. I mean, he fought Tombstone, he fought Scorpion. I mean, he fought the Hand. He just fought a couple different people, and it's like, okay, this isn't a Spider-Man, like this ain't a multiverse Spider-Man movie where he's dealing with threats like Thanos or anything like that. This is more or less, boom, he's just here and he's in New York doing what he has to do. Evolution. This movie definitely has a theme, I feel, of like evolution. Peter's evolution from accepting his reality is okay, that he can be both Spider-Man and Peter despite what he's had happen to him. Evolution of say like Sadie Sink's character kind of has a little thing kind of go like that. The evolution of the MCU itself of, hey, we are going into different directions, expanding on certain things and all that. So I think evolution definitely was a big part of this. Um, Overall, I think this was the most comic book accurate version of Spider-Man Tom Holland has played. He's been a good Spider-Man. He's been a decent Peter Parker. Um, but I think this was the most comic book accurate. I mean, he had some oomph to him. He had some, okay, this guy has been through something. He's dealing with something, but he's still trying to carry on. The way how he actually felt more like a New Yorker and felt more like Peter Parker in this movie compared to the last ones, maybe is what he needed was like I said, was for his version of Peter Parker to kind of go through something and be more isolated and be more alone. So then it's like to kind of deal with that and to make people kind of not have to worry about him. It's more or less with the kind of wisecracks and the kind of trying to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man more, or just friendly neighborhood Peter, which throughout the movie he doesn't use his name Peter. Like he tells different people his name is this and that. So I felt like that was kind of interesting too. Like that kind of also, like I said, played more into the him being almost like Robert Pattinson's Batman of not accepting that he's basically even Peter Parker himself. Um, but this is definitely, I felt like I said, a movie that relates to people who have mental health issues like I do, as a Spider-Man story, and I think that the action was amazing. The side characters were funny and amazing. The comedy was pretty good. I didn't feel like it was over the top, but I felt like it was kind of needed and necessary at certain times. The main villain was pretty good. Overall, I think this movie for me definitely gets a 9 out of 10. I think something should have happened at the end, but it didn't, and that's fine, which I think would have led to something else, but we're probably still going to get that. We do know that he's returning most likely in Secret Wars, as Avengers Doomsday is currently happening and basically in real time with Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's why he's not in Doomsday. Um, but I think that's kind of the only thing I can gripe about with this movie. But otherwise, I think this movie definitely gets a 9 out of 10. I think this is Tom Holland's best performance as Spider-Man to date. And I think it has been one of the better Spider-Man movies since the Tobey Maguire days. And I know that might be like a bit of a stretch, but I really think that this movie, they took their time with this and they really wanted this to be very, very good. So, um, and I think that, like I said, he just needed that loss to deal with that. Like he lost people in No Way Home, but he had to just kind of deal with it. Like, not deal with it, but he had to just finish the mission. He had to just send all the villains home. He had to do whatever. But this was like, okay, you're dealing now with another threat, but you got this going on. You have now the burden you're now dealing with at the same exact time, and it's not put on the back burner. So that's why I think makes this movie so good. So definitely let me know what you guys think about it. Once you guys see it, let me know down in the comments. Was this the best Spider-Man movie that you guys have seen? Was it Tom Holland's best Spider-Man movie? Um, are you guys excited to see him in Secret Wars? Like, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's really talk about it. Make sure you send this to your friends, family, all the stuff like that, to, get my channel out there. And as always, make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.